Hello, hello, hello. Professor Pete here. This is week 1. We are talking about Design for the Web 357. And we are looking at the introduction to assignment number 1, which is the group website. So let's have a quick look. Here is the rubric and here's the assignment. In teams of 2, create a website that either illustrates a childhood memory, a toy, cartoon show, a video game, a board game would be in this theme 2, and modernize it with current design trends, or be a destination that you inspire to visit but fabricating it in creating a new place from it. So for example, you can combine San Francisco and Tokyo and make it San Fran Tokyo. So those are the 2 things that we're looking for in terms of group website topics. Pick one of the 2. Again, a childhood memory, it can be anything really. It's open to interpretation as well, but as long as there's a theme, and we're going to look at some examples from previous students who've taken this course and see what they've done. Anyways, the rubric goes between creativity and technical abilities, appealing design, unique creative design functionality. Technical is usability, the use of principles of design, correct file types, and the correct file image sizes. These are all important. You need to follow the grid too, and so we need to see that everything lines up beautifully, and I'll talk about that also in a future video. Presentation has to be clear, concise, understandable in the allowed time, which is 5 minutes, and professional. Must also be easy to understand, so this is also very important. This is the presentation in terms of the layout. We want 12 slides. First slide with your names and the title of the topic. Then we have 10 slides, anything from any sort of website inspiration that helped you and aided you. It's like a design journal. So from color designs, different websites, maybe you did some logo designs. So we want to see the progress from that. Different layout designs maybe you thought about. Have this in there, record it. These are really important things to have in your presentation, because this is really important that we see that you've thought this through, and it ultimately helps your grade. Last slide, name, credits, references, and the total hours spent. You must keep track of the number of hours you spent in total for the group total. So like I said in previous video, you want to spend roughly 20 to 40 hours per person on each assignment, since each assignment takes roughly 5 weeks. Okay, so you need to spend at least, outside of watching these videos, about 3 to 5 hours per week. So that way you're not doing things last minute. Submission, okay, look at the Blackboard for to refresh yourself, but you need at least 4 web pages, one main homepage, and then 3 additional pages at least. Okay, so your HTML files and your graphics folder need to be kind of together, and I'll show you an example. The resolution is 1920 by 1080 pixels, and the PowerPoint presentation that you're submitting has to have voice recording. If you don't want to do a PowerPoint presentation, you can do a screen capture. I'm using Bandicam as a PC. I believe Mac has their own video capture. You can play the PowerPoint, it records the video, and you talk over it. Totally up to you, but we need to have voice with your presentation. The naming is, as you can see here, it's going to be a folder, and I'm going to show you quickly what we're looking for in terms of the folder. And so here is the website. This is one of the websites. You can see how you have the HTML files here, and then you have the graphics files, which are JPEGs. They happen to be in the same folder. If they're in the same folder, okay, I'll live with that. Ideally, we want to put these into a graphics folder. Now, you can't put these into a graphics folder after you've created the HTML documents. So you got to put everything together in one place before we start linking things. And you'll start to see errors. If you pull things out and make new folders and things like that, you'll start to see that the linking gets messed up. So make sure though that everything is in one folder as you are making everything, so that way it's clean and concise and everything links properly. So now let's have a look at the document for teams. Now, because we're not physically in presence of each other, this is the document we'll use to put the names of your team members. I recommend if you don't have a team yet, I will have, I'm going to just make this right now. Okay, so I just made this. It's a name without team. So put your name in there if you don't have a team. And then if by the end of by the end of our Q&A on the next class, then I'll start to put the teams together because we'll be together. And whoever's left, okay, will then just be put together into teams. That's how we'll do it. I'll also update this document to have email addresses, so that way you can connect with your team members if that's the case. So let's have a look at some examples. This is Courage the Cowardly Dog. Notice how they use logos here, and these logos link to the respective websites. They've changed the design of it a little bit. It's a little bit more mature and dark. And you see there's the homepage and then 3 links: character, story, and episodes. And there are the links, and there's story. Okay, and then there's episodes. Okay, another example is Japania. So it's India and Japan into one. This is kind of interesting in terms of the interface. Again, I'm going to talk about the interface design in another lecture, but you can see that they've used icons to create it, and it's very unique in the way that they talk about the clothing, the map, and the patterns. So this is another example. And then finally, I'm going to just show you 3 examples. This is Ed, and Eddie. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. There's the search doesn't work, but there's the about, there's the clips, and then there's the shop. Okay. And for some reason, my browser is playing things really large, so I need to just. So I just need to zoom back a little bit, and you can see how they designed it. So again, next week we'll look at web design principles, and so then you with your teams later this week, figure out your topic, figure out who you're going to work with, and then we'll start looking at design for the web and go from there. All right. So any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next class.